Hi, David McMillan here. A retired smuggler, waff, 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 all the usual stuff. A former criminal with some experience in dealing with difficult things. This is just a little supplemental add-on here that I have kind of edited out from the discourse on doubt and why conspiracy theories should be put to the test of economics, whether it was worth doing. And this is going on for about 6 or 7 minutes about how imprecise everything is, but you shouldn't worry about it. But it's kind of, for nerds, you probably get something out of it. I hope so, anyway. At a very precise level, almost nothing is known for sure. Uncertainty is really key in physics, and a lot of the ways of working with physics to get predictable results is done on the basis of probability. That is, a result is so probable, over 99%, that it can be relied upon. And it's that level of certainty that builds our television sets and certainly our GPS, though it's fine-tuned by a little bit of time travel, which is involved in GPS systems. Yes, it's actually proof of time travel, forward, of course, not backwards. But this imprecision is something you shouldn't. Well, I don't let it put me off life. Okay, we know that matter behaves as a particle and a wave at the same time. The famous double slit experiment. I won't go into it here, but take a close look at it, and it's unsettling. It's really, imagine yourself zooming in on an object. I guess on the tip of a pen. When you get to the tiny little ball of the ballpoint, you can no longer see it very clearly, because even with the best optical glass microscope, the image becomes fuzzy because the very particles that make up not only the glass of the microscope, but the devices that are receiving that image and other things make it blurry by the nature of optics and the way they get bounced and twisted around. It gets fuzzier and fuzzier. So your device for looking at something very closely becomes electron scanning microscopes. In a way, it's not looking in the conventional sense. It's calculating something very tiny by throwing a little electron over the surface of something and then seeing which way it goes or what kind of signal it puts out. What I'm getting at is that when you finally break things down, even the ancient Greeks wondered that things must have a smallest object, but we didn't get actually much further. As we look closer, those objects become less object-like and just a little field of energy that has a probability of a center. When we about how tiny the nucleus of the atom is in comparison with the empty space around it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this calculation, but we're never actually seeing it. At a certain level, we're calculating the existence of things in the same way that we look out into the vastness of space, and it's a series of calculations that gives us a picture. And of course, we show ourselves that picture by painting it or visualizing it as something more conventional, a kind of wide screen of dots, I guess, or a shape. But it may be, and it probably is, that the shape of things is not as we feel them to be. Shape is quite different. It's got characteristics that go beyond the three-dimensional surfaces. It has curves in it that are unsettling. But worry not. This imprecision, a lot of people say, well, look, I've just listened to that scientist, and at the end of it he's saying nothing's for sure, so I'm going to dismiss everything that's said. But in this, I've always thought we must go back to accept that everything is based on 99 and better percent probability. Then we can work with that in the same way that all our theories of mischief and dark deeds and big people and powerful things must be examined in the same kind of way, by which I mean, was it worth doing? The very cost of it. When we travel to other planets, it gets expensive. To go to other stars will be massively so, and the payoff dismal, because most of us will be dead before the information gets back, even if we send robots. But there will be a time when we more or less live forever as a conscious entity, as individuals, so it'll be less concerning then. But I suspect we won't bother, because we'll be able to infer and calculate things that we could never infer and calculate before. So the actual physical journey won't be necessary. Perhaps that explains why we seem to be alone in the universe, because nobody's knocking on our door in an alien craft. After all, why would they use ancient technology of some kind of warp drive starship to get here? Because that indeed would be ancient technology to them if they were that advanced. I think when we apply, is it worth it? What did it cost? Could we get the same result in another way? If we apply those kind of standards to highly advanced aliens, they probably wouldn't bother making the trip. No pity, because there's some great parks, and some of the oceans are beautiful. I don't know what's their problem. I think what their problem is their answer, that, like us, they've got to the point where they can imagine better than reality. And that's a tough economic test. Well, was it worth doing that? I don't know. Probably get about 6, maybe 7 views for the people who forgot to switch off their machines. But it had a couple of valid points in it. Anyway, I'll be back next time, I think, with damned if I know what. But something will come up. See you then. Bye.